We are going to start this session 10 minutes after 2 o'clock. Then, yeah, we'll start properly. Let us give other people time to join us. And welcome once again to today's session. We are happy that you are here with us this afternoon. All right, thank you once again for joining us this afternoon. I'm happy and excited to have everybody on the call. My name is Nafisat, and I work with the scaling team as the program lead for the academy. And today's session is going to be a very interactive and enlightening one, right? Even though we have few people on the call, but we are going to make it engaging as much as we can, right? We're going to be talking about how to strategically network for international sales roles. And I want to believe that most people that are on this call are salespeople or people that want to start their career in sales. So before we start fully, I would like to know everybody on the call. So put it in the chat box, your name, your location, and one fun fact about you. Let's get to that. Put it in the chat box. I'll be here reading them. Or do you want to talk Sunday? Is anybody saying anything in the chat box? Hi, Marvelous. Hi, Sunday. Hi, Johanna. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Can you tell us your location and can you tell us your location and what you hope to learn from the program and one exciting fact about you? Can anybody hear me at all to confirm? If you can hear me, type a yes in the chat box or mute. Okay, I'm wondering why. Okay, we have Marvelous from Port Harcourt. Nice to meet you, Shive Sunday. All right. Right. Like I mentioned, my name is Nafisat and I lead the academy at Scaling. And fun fact about it is that I lost my name, right? You can see it from my picture here. And today we'll be talking about how to strategically network for international sales. And we have a thought leader in the sales phase, right? And someone who has experience in managing international sales role, and she's from Nigeria. She has experience working in Nigerian companies, and she's going to be walking us through how she started her career and how she was able to network to get her current role. Right before that, I would like to talk about what we do at Scaling. Scaling mission is to accelerate the growth of people and business by providing resources for them to excel. And our vision is to build the largest sales community in Africa. So if you think about, if you want to learn sales, you want to learn business development, you want to learn SDR, and you do not know where to start from, just think about Scaling. We are here to help you to hold your hands so you achieve your goal. And yes, so how do we do that? We do it by scouting for talents like you. We help companies hire talent. We also train talent. So we have people that have the experience or that have the opportunity but do not have the skills, right? So we teach people to acquire the skills, right? We also provide you a platform and a community for you to grow. So there's direct mentorship. If you come to our academy, we help companies to hire, and we also help talent to like gain their confidence in sales. So, and this topic, like I mentioned, is going to be about how you can strategically network to get your next international business, sales rather. So, our guest for today is Yejide, and Yejide is Senior Business Development Executive and also a business consultant. Hi, Yejide, can you hear me?
Hi, Nafisat. Yes, I can hear you. Hi,
All right.
everyone.
Nice to meet you. I'm just going to go ahead to like tell us about yourself and your career info.
Hi, everyone. So, yeah, just a bit about myself. I have 7 years of experience in sales and business development across different sectors. So I started at the consumer produce sector. So like I worked with the startups. Basically, I didn't enter with sales or business development. It was sort of like a graduate program, and then I found myself in business development. From there, I moved to nonprofit. And for the last 3 years, 3 to 4 years, I have worked in technology sales, business development, particularly with an international company in Canada. So a bulk of my work was to help tech companies in North America, in Canada, sell their solution, do lead generation, business development across that. Aside from that, I've also helped startups, small startups consults for their sales process, help them. Hi, Nafisat. It's okay. Yeah, I'll just go ahead. So I also help small startups and businesses, put together their business development strategies and also implement it. I would say that it's been an interesting journey so far, and for me, it has been a rewarding journey. And I'm here to just share a bit of what I know with everyone on the call. Fun fact about me is I hate pepper. I can't stand pepper. I know there's a stereotype with Yoruba people like pepper, but I cannot stand pepper for anything. So yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Yes, thank you for that. Yeah. So thanks for sharing your experience, and you're probably the first person that do not like pepper that I'm seeing. But then how do you how did you start? You talked about your experience so far, right? But what has shaped your approach to international sales role since you started your career?
Okay, yeah, I would say that for me, it was let me just say tech sales found me. So because I had worked in sales for a while, I had I had like a couple of experiences, and then I went for a program in technology management. And while I was in that program, I was like, oh, like this seems interesting. There's a core technical skills that people have, but there's also the business side of like, technology. There's also the sales part. Is someone that is going to sell these solutions that people are building, right? So yeah, so I had that at the back of my mind, and I started sort of tailoring my profile on LinkedIn towards that, right? So not just business development, but like business development in the tech industry. I'm speaking like specifically for myself here. So doing that, I think based on that, I was approached by a recruiter, and we got talking, and that was the first step. But yeah, I'll just stop there and continue bit. But yeah, that was like the first step of how I got into like landing an international role.
Okay, you mentioned the first step, but what other steps do you think like you did, or what would you recommend for sales professionals to do if they are applying for international sales role?
Okay, so um after being approached by the recruiter, I was asked to submit my CV. So I think one thing, and which is very important, is to have a very good CV that stands out, right? So, and it's best not to use the Nigerian benchmark for your CV, right? You take your CV, you compare it. So the thing about like applying for international is you're not just competing with candidates in Nigeria, you're competing with candidates in Africa, you're competing with candidates in North America, Asia, you know, they recruit talent from all around. So you want your CV to stand out. And also, for your CV, you don't just want it to be like, I did this, I did this. There's something they call the STAR method, right? So what impact did you make? How did you do it? Very short, make it clear. So using the STAR method, I created like my CV, put like the key skills that I had and shared it. That's one. The second thing I would say that really helped me was having worked in this sales role was improving my communication skills, so both written and verbal. I took a test, and the test that I took required I write I basically create like a sales campaign. And bear in mind, I had been doing sales, but a lot of the sales that I had done was more of verbal. There was a lot of verbal communication, right? But like I'm working remotely from Nigeria, so you should guess that it's going to be written communication intensive. So having built that written communication, it was one of the things that enabled me to be able to scale through the next process, because I had to create like campaigns, email campaigns, and share it with the recruiter. And from there, I had interview with the team. So when it came to meeting with the team, one thing I would say helped me that stood out was my versatility and adaptability. So I've worked in different industries. You know, I would say that I pride myself with the ability to adapt. So adaptability, that versatility is stood out. They could see it. Also, building my problem solving skills, I was able to show that during the interview. They could also see. I think that's what sales does for you. And that's what it did for me. So being able to think out of the box, work independently. I'll say that salespeople are among when you look at career, right? They're among the few people that can actually work independently. They have to work independently. It's like if you don't work, it's so obvious. It's I don't know how to, like, it's so obvious, right? Nobody needs to be chasing up on that. If you don't work, nothing is sold. It's like, yeah, we can't see anything. So there's no explanation you want to make that, oh, I reached out to 100 people or this thing. It's basically okay, but it hasn't generated into any revenue. So being able to work independently show that, you know, that would improve your problem solving skill. That would also improve your critical thinking skills, your communication skills. So all those skills that I've built, I brought that to the interview, and you know, that really helped me. I'll say the last thing was also cultural fit. So just being able to show my personality. So it's important to have the skills, also important to, you know, work on your personality. Like sales is relationship management, right? So you should have should be able to relate to people, you should be able to maintain relationships, you should be someone that people would like to talk to. So I'll say that thing, that also stood out for me. So those are in summary, those are the skills that I had built and helped me to transition working with an international company.
All right, thank you. So we already have some questions in the chat box because I'm going to like take it later, but I'll go to the next question. So yeah, I agree with the fact that you have to improve your communication skills, your interpersonal skills, and also the fact that yeah, working with international remote, we are working on international remote jobs, and the culture is very, very different. So you need to communicate as much as you can. So that's a very good example that you gave there. So, but then how is it important to network with current employees of a company that you are looking to get into? And what are some effective ways to initiate conversation?
Thank you, Nafisat. So when it comes to recruiting at the moment, I don't even think it's just for international roles, even for Nigerian roles. You should have strategies that will make you stand out as a candidate. So like a lot of people are qualified, a lot of people do have the skills, and it's a bit tough out there. So you should have like certain strategies that would help you stand out. So one of them is to network with current employees of the company that you like, or the company that you applied to. So what that does for you is that, right, one, you get like insider information. That's what I'm going to call it. But it's like they're sharing you tips about the company. They are giving you like, oh, this is maybe this is our culture, this is what we do. You get that information that other people that have not spoken to anyone within that company would get. So you have that. Secondly, they're able to, people know you within that company. So there are some companies that when they recruit, the recruiting team sort of just asks like teammates, hey, do you guys know this person? Has anyone heard of this person? Did you come across this person? Or like the person can even just mention to recruiter, oh, I spoke to this person and they seem interesting. Do you get? So it's always nice for those people, those companies that you've spoken with, they can be advocates for you. They can give you insider information. You can also have that cordial, for lack of better words, relationship with them. And who knows, right? I mean, so it's really important. You have one step ahead of other candidates that have not spoken to anyone in the company. When I was applying to the company I worked with internationally, I reached out to a couple of people, and I reached out to 3 people, and I spoke to 2 of them. And the one person that did not reply my email or reply my LinkedIn message was a LinkedIn message. We are sort of like even close friends right now. So it's interesting, right? But it's always good to like reach out to people within that company. So how do you effectively do that? One is to reach out to as many people as you is to shoot your shots for let me just shoot your shot to as many people as you can, because it's not everybody that reply you, right? So if you are looking to speak to one person, you should try to reach out to like 3 to 4 people and see who would be able to speak to you. And when you're reaching out, I think the sense is to say you want to learn about the company, you find what they do interesting, not that, oh, I'm applying for a job, or I applied for this job, or how can you help me, or something like that, but just more come from a knowledge seeking approach. And also you want to use a personalized approach when you're reaching out to these employees. So it would be nice. It's an extra effort to do a research about them. I mean, if I should see like 2 emails, one saying, hey, Yejide, I saw you work at this, I saw you work at Scaling. I wanted to find out what they do at Scaling, or I want to find out how Scaling is, or what your experience is at Scaling, compared to, hi, Yejide, I saw you won the Culture Champion Award at Scaling. It says so much about it says so much about your culture. It says so much about your personality. Well done. I get the sense that the culture at Scaling is so great. I would love to learn more, get more information about, how your experience has been. So just compare those 2 outreaches. Which one would you think I would like be inclined to respond to, right? It's the one that took the effort to, it's a soft landing. I've noticed that we don't really do like lots of personalized approach in Nigeria. We just shoot it's just like, come and buy what I'm selling. You don't really care about me, right? So you want to make a personalized message to the person you are connecting with, right? You can use LinkedIn. The best is LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is you email is a bit, except you have a referral, but email is a bit are you spying on me? How did you get my email? Like, if it was that way, but like LinkedIn, it's good. Also, you can leverage on your network. So you want to leverage on your friends and family that know people that work in that company and give you that referral. So if you know someone that if you have a friend and the friend knows Yeji that works at Scaling, hey, can you please connect me with, and if you're using that referral, oh, hi, Yeji, I spoke to Bolaji and she told me that, you're really doing great at Scaling. I was hoping we could have a chat, right? So you can also do that. So just a recap on the 3 things I mentioned. You want to reach out to as much people as you can, not a crazy number, but a decent amount, because it's not everybody that might reply you. Secondly, you want to take a personalized approach in the way you write to the person. Thirdly, you can also make use of referral. Then fourthly, you can make use of LinkedIn as a good way to reach out to current company employees.
I agree with all the points you mentioned, right? Taking a little effort to research about the person or the company really goes a long way, and it's going to, like you mentioned, a lot of people might be sending them messages, right? So your own message, having done a little research and background, is going to make them get them excited to respond to your own message first before others, right? So I have some questions here in the chat box. So I'll read some, then I'll ask you other questions. So Marvelous asks, what medium do you use to reach out to current employee of the company? And more importantly, what exactly do you say?
Okay, so the medium for me is LinkedIn, because almost everyone is on LinkedIn. It's an open space rather than email. Email is kind of spooky. Instagram is also stalky. It's like, how did you find my Instagram? And it's a social media platform. Like, why are you on the person's Instagram? Message the person about, like, some people don't even have their companies on Instagram, right? So that's kind of spooky. Also, you don't want to call the person. How did you get their phone number? What's that? Except you have like a very strong referral. So LinkedIn is always very good. LinkedIn is great for cold outreach. I've done like a lot of LinkedIn cold outreach. People have responded. As people have responded. So I'll say LinkedIn is the best, right? What exactly do you say? You want to learn about their culture. You want to learn about their experience. Those are like the 2 major things. You don't necessarily you don't necessarily state that, oh, like, I applied for a job and I want to just, well, you can't say that. It depends on the approach. Because when I was doing some cold outreach, I did say that, oh, I applied and I wanted to get like a sense of their experience, a sense of how what the culture fit is like. So those 2 things, people are very open to share about that. And yeah, so I'd say those are the 2 things you can talk about.
All right, thank you. Also, what does a week in your current international sales role look like?
So a week, one thing I would say that I mentioned it earlier, I touched on it, is the fact that salespeople are usually very independent people, right? When it comes to your work, you don't have someone like really emphasizing, oh, you have to do your work, your work speaks for itself. So then just imagine that. Hi guys, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. I can hear you.
Okay. So just imagine that then you are not doing this remotely in a different country, when a lot of people have like different time zones. So a lot of work is done asynchronously, and that means you have to have great time management skills. You have to have a great planning skills. So typically for me, what I do is that, because I work Eastern Standard Time in the morning, so from 8 to, let's say, 12, I do a lot of my mental focus work. So if I'm writing email campaigns, if I'm writing emails, if I'm sourcing for leads, so anything that I need to think, I need to focus on, I do it in the mornings very early. And maybe it's just I'm a morning person, so you could be a night person, but I'm just saying that the time whereby like you have the most quiet is the time I use for my own focus work. And I take break around like 12 to 1. Around 2, Slack is already buzzing or any communication software that you use, but I use Slack. So you are getting messages from your teammates. They are up working now. You are also getting, requests. So that way I'm not doing any focus work. I'm able to reply emails. I'm able to do like that don't need like very serious replies, and then just looking at that and do that for a couple of hours. So towards the end of the day, not totally the end, maybe like towards the middle of the day. So around like 4, 5, I'm replying emails. So those emails that I've sent out to prospects, I'm getting replies for them. So I'm replying those ones. And at the end of the day, I create my to-do for the next day. I look at what I've been able to achieve and what I didn't get done, and also plan for the next day. So yeah, just recapping. In the morning, I do my focus work because the team is not awake then. A bulk of the team work Eastern time. They are not in Nigeria, so the team is not awake. And then I take break. By the time I'm back by 1, 2, everyone is awake. There's Slack. So I do like very simple tasks. So maybe I'm following people on LinkedIn, or I'm replying to a prospect that I'm trying to speak to. I'm commenting on their posts on LinkedIn. So things I can do that don't require me to like really be extremely mentally focused, right? So I do that while responding to Slack message, or if I have like any team activity, any cultural activity, I do within that time. Then towards the evening time, I'm replying to emails from prospects, and at the end of the day, I plan for the next day. So that's what a day typically looks like for me.
Sounds interesting, and it also sounds like it's too much work. But then, hold on. Hi, Marvelous. I hope you got the response that you wanted. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, I'm trying to mute Marvelous. Okay, so we'll come back to that question. It seems Marvelous is interested in a lot of things. Yeah, I'll come back to that question. Let me just go ahead with the questions I have here. So you've talked about teaching, you talked about cold emailing, you talked about like reaching out to people, and specifically cold emailing is very, very powerful tool if it is done right. So what are the key elements of a successful cold email? And when I say key element, like what are the things that you think like really make people to respond to a cold email while trying to like make connection? And also, yeah, can you go out first? Then I'll go ahead with the second question.
Okay, when it comes to cold email, and it's just like the example I gave for LinkedIn. When it comes to cold email, bear in mind that when you're doing a cold email, this person doesn't know you from anywhere, right? So it's like it's like you're shooting your shot. So for a good quality cold email, you want to divide it into 3 parts. The personalized hook. So we call it hook because it's like you use it to hook the person. You are using it to do a soft landing, right? So you have a hook, then you have in the middle your ask, and then you have what you use to close it, right? So a very good hook should have like these 3 things. Your ask should not be at the beginning, and then your hook or like your opening should not be something super generic. Especially if you like really want this person to respond to you. So for hook, it's always best to do some sort of research on the person you are reaching out to. It's extra work, but it's better. So you want to do like, even if you can Google this person, they might have been an on a podcast. I might have been. So if someone's trying to reach out to me now, person might check LinkedIn and saw that, oh, I had this, I was on this scaling, the webinar. The person might not have might not have had to be on the webinar, but the person can reference the webinar. It's like, oh, I saw you at this. It must have been interesting. Like the things you spoke about, that's, if I see that, I'll say, oh, this person actually, rather than, oh, Yejide, hi, hope you are doing well today. I wanted to reach out because this, right? Just compare it to the person referencing the webinar. Oh, Yejide, I saw that you spoke at the scaling webinar. I wish, like, or something like, I wish I had attended. It must have been so insightful, something like that. Compare those two, right? So you want to have like a personalized opener when you're writing a good cold email. Then middle, you can have your ask. Yeah, for more context, my name is Ejide. I'm reaching out to you because of this. And then the ending, I was wondering, or do you have a time to, you give like something flexible to have a 10 minutes chat. You don't just say a chat. The person might think it's something too long. You just give them like, oh, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, even if it's going to be more than, sometimes the conversation can go more than 10 minutes. But like, you just want to give like something, that it's not so crazy. So I'll say those are the components of a good cold email. The second thing is that the length, it shouldn't be too long. Really, people don't have patience for like anything too long, right? It's just something not too short but not too long. That's second one. The third one is you want to go over what you have written, ensure that there is no typo. It sends a very wrong signal if the person is already seeing like spelling mistakes, typos. Person's like, this one is not even serious. Choose. Do you get so yes, so a recap. So don't mind, I like doing recaps. You want to ensure that your cold email has 3 segments: a personalized opener called a hook, your ask, and then your call to action. Call it a call to action or closing, like what you want to do. Secondly, you want to ensure that it's not too long. The length is good. Lastly, you want to ensure that you don't have any typos, any spelling mistake. You can proofread. Yes, and just don't make it too, well, it depends on who you're writing to, but like coming from an international, my experience in the international market, especially the North America and the US market, you don't want to be overly formal because no one speaks like, do you know the way we speak in Nigeria?
Yeah, this
I don't know whether
summer
you saw that
stuff.
the Twitter thread, Nigerian, the way we speak English, and then the way the Americans like speak English, like, so you don't want to be overly serious using all the grammar that you found in dictionary, just something simple. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. And starting from the proofreading, right? Even to their names, right? Ensure that you're not spelling their names wrong, and ensure that they are not also spelling your name wrong, right? It's very important. Then the culture also tilt into the email also, like the way the Americans like communicate with each other via email is probably different. So I think a typical American would not want you to address them as sir or ma. They rather want their first name compared to the Nigerian standard here. So you have to like do extra research on to know all these things so that you won't send a wrong signal to them. But thank you so much for the tips. I hope everyone is taking note. So this question I'm about to ask about communities, right? So could you discuss the benefits of joining professional sales associations or community and how this platform can aid in meeting and connecting with recruiters?
That's a very good question. I think that we as salespeople in Nigeria, we don't leverage the power of community. And I think other professions have done that. So if you look at accounting and you look at what they've done with is ICANN, right? And then you look at the medical profession and you see what they've done with the Association of Medical Practitioners in Nigeria. Like these associations have very, very strong hold. These communities have very, very strong hold, right? What it has done for them is that, aside from the fact that, do you guys know that they sort of put a benchmark on what you can pay them? Like it's because of those communities, there is a sort of like a benchmark of what they would accept or what they would not accept in terms of standard, right? And there is that backbone, right? Secondly, it gives it gives you a lot of the leverage to find opportunities easily. So a lot of communities, joining communities, you have recruiters coming into those communities, right? It makes sense for a recruiter to come into a community that's specifically designed for salespeople. So imagine if someone wants to hire a salesperson, and the person thinks of, oh, I want to hire a salesperson, it makes more sense for the person like, oh, scaling is known for sales, right? I would rather go to scaling and look for a salesperson because I know that there are actually salespeople there, they have the experience, I can get them, rather than looking for salespeople up and down, right? It makes more sense. It makes more sense. I think it's also, if you look at it in the granular way, right? If you want to buy something, you want to buy clothes, why do people go to Balogun markets if they want to buy clothes? Because you know that Balogun markets, you would get like varieties, you get clothes, right? I'm just using that example as what community does. It gives you, for lack of better words, I don't want to use family because family is kind of like dogs when they say we are family in this place. But like it gives you you are part of something, you get easy access to opportunities, you get easy access to people. Part of the people in your community are also recruiters. So I know that I've gotten a role from a committee I was part of, because the recruiter is the hiring manager and is also a salesperson. So you have like hiring managers within the community that you are, and instead of them, before they even start recruiting outside, they ask within the community, hey guys, I'm looking for this person, you get. So that's what it does for you. So I think that communities are very, very important. And I don't think that and I also think that we as salespeople, we are not leveraging the power of community enough. Right. That's why a lot of people feel that sales is burning them out. They are not adequately compensated because it's like we have not been able to, let me not say we've not been able to, I'll say like people have not prioritized the importance of joining sales associations, sales communities, and then just leveraging on that.
I think one of the reasons why people are not like prioritizing is maybe because they are not aware, or probably the current sales community are not really engaging, right? So, and that is what scaling is trying to achieve here. So we have a community of sales professionals that we help to secure jobs. We also like partner them with companies. We also have like different activities that we do, that we engage in to also like help you to stay relevant in the sales industry, right? So there are weekly check-ins, there are different trainings that we take, like just like these trainings also. And I'm sure that some people here in this call are part of the community and they can know and testify how much engaging the community is. But if you still want to join the community, we're going to like tell you information about it before the end of this session. So yeah, thank you for that, Nichide. Um, I think there's another question in the chat box before I go to my next question. So, is Marvelous still on the call? Okay, yeah. So, he asked about the remuneration structure. I don't know if you want to share that. An amount of experienced sales professional can expect in their first remote role.
That's I would not say there is one answer to that. So when it comes to remuneration, you want to consider the country, you want to also consider the role, you also, country, role, and also the company. You want to consider those things, right? And the structure of employment. So in terms of like country, from my experience, I have seen that companies in the US, they've been able to pay in terms of remuneration higher than some companies in Europe. That's from my experience in terms of what I've seen so far. This is not a one stone fits all. Some European company can pay more than an American company. So you can't really see. But one thing I can say so that I've seen so far is like most times when when you are being employed for a remote role, right, your role is most times a contract role. So that's something you need to bear in mind. It's a contract role because of we've not been able to the company, they are also trying to ensure that they don't have like any tax issues. So most times they rarely, some of them do, but they rarely hire full-time staffs. They rather do like a contract basis. So you don't have like they don't have tax issues. Also, it's easier for them. So you need to bear that in mind. And you being a contract staff, it means that sometimes you don't have access to certain benefits aside from like your take home. So you want to bear that in mind also, that you know your take home would be like, compared to, if you compare what you are being paid in Nigeria, when you look at, and it's basically because of forex, the foreign exchange, right? So if you compare that, it would be significantly higher. But you should also understand that some benefits you literally have to cover, you literally have to cover them by yourself. So health insurance, that you have to do that by yourself. Paying your taxes, your company is not going to pay your taxes for you, right? You have to do that by yourself also. So I would say that in terms of, I can't give you a specific figure, right? But I would say that the compensation is quite, it's quite good because of FX. And
Yeah.
also it's quite good because of FX. And yeah, some countries the rate is higher than others, right? But you just want to bear in mind that. And sometimes when you get like a contractor, you get a base fee and you get also commissions, right? Sometimes you get only base fees. It just depends on the company. It depends on the country also. And yeah, but yeah, as I said, most times those roles are contract roles.
Do you have an idea of like the average amount?
Average amount, I feel so, you know what it means, like average amount. I'm have to sample like
No, no, no. Okay, okay.
30
What?
remote companies and then like, oh, what's the average here? So that's why like it's basically from my experience and few people that I know that I've spoken with.
Mm,
Um okay, so I can give a range. So a range of like, I know a company that pays $900, right? I know another company that pays $2,500. So, and I don't know if there's a company that pays more than, I think there's even a company that pays more than $2,500, just thinking about it. So that's why I say it just depends on the company. It depends on some companies that are they are really small startups and they are looking for a way to also cut costs, right? That's why they are looking to hire remotely from Africa. So those companies, they might not pay so much. And there are some companies that their team is in Nigeria here. They know like their team is in Nigeria. So they know the Nigeria, like the company that pays $900 now. I'm giving you just company that pays $900. They have a large team in Nigeria. So I guess they know the Nigerian average salary for BDRs, right? So they pay around $900 for a start. Yeah. So, and I know of another company that pays $2,500. They typically don't hire Nigerians, but they've hired Nigerians. They hire from anywhere. So for them, $2,500 for whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Mexico, you're in Singapore, you get. So that's the standard. So I would say that it depends on the company. Yeah.
all right, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I believe Marvelous got his answer. Right. So I'll move on to the next question, and this is about trainings and certifications. When I mean training, so how can sales professionals, or how has trainings and certifications such as HSR certificates has played a big role in your career, right? And also, what are the ways to overcome the common challenges that people face when trying to like secure an international sales role?
So let me start with the challenges. The first challenge is there's really nothing you can do about that except you can get another citizenship. It's being a Nigerian, right?
It's very
So
tough.
that's yeah, it's very tough. I've spoken to, like, I don't even want to go into it, but like I've done interviews and been at the last stage where you're speaking to the founder of the company, and then they say, "Oh, are you based in Nigeria?" I'm like, didn't you see my link? Did you see that I'm based in Nigeria? And that's like, oh no, so they rather even like they rather hear you say, oh, like sort of like a digital nomad. I move, like I live in different places, than saying that you don't live in Nigeria. So there is that fact of you live in Nigeria and there is really nothing you can do about that. The second one is I feel like if there are companies that are ready to take a chance on you, you should just be able to really, really stand out. Whether you like it or not, you most likely have to do times two of the job, which is not, I wouldn't say like is the healthiest, but like it starts because you are trying to like just you know really really show like you can do this, you are capable. And Nigerians are really really smart people. I worked with like some couple of Nigerians with um at my company also. So like I know how much drive we have, right, when it comes to even doing the work and how smart we are. So I would say that it's just your ability to be able to show and do your work. It's not, you need to understand the culture is different. The culture of, like, no shade to Nigerian companies, though, but you need to understand that you need to do the work, right? You need to, when you're working for like an international company, the work ethic is very, very strong. You need to do your work. You don't have the time to slack or like lots of excuses, right? You need to get your work done. You need to deliver. You need to go out of the way. Like you are reaching out to a company to sell something, and then you think that it's only one person that you should talk to in that company because that's the lead that was generated for you or something. You should be able to go to the work and be like, oh, who does this person work with? Who are these? Who do I report to this person? Who do you think will speak? So you need to be able to go do the extra mile, right? To be able to show it's and it's that way with recruiting. So because you already have like disadvantage of being in Nigeria, you should be able to do the work with when you want to be employed, right? So you reach out to your recruiter, you follow up, look at people in the companies, you reach out to people that work in the companies. If they have like companies events, you want to attend the company's events, you engage with the post of people that are working. It might be like it's a lot, but it's not a lot though. People actually do it. Sometimes initially when I started, I was cringing. I'm like, to me, I'll be like, which kind of eye service is this one? Like, why do I have to go? I was cringing, but people do it. Like, if you work with, I'm going to use them as an example because I've seen them work. If you work with Indians, you understand like the work ethic. Like, people do it. They are looking for a job, right? Your company, aside from writing to the recruiter, they've spoken to 4 to 5 people in that company. They are the company event. They know all the news in the company. If they are talking to the recruiter, they are referencing the company's newsletter. They are referencing the company's article. So it's to tell you that these people, they know the work. So you should be able to go the extra mile, whether you are in the job or whether you're looking for the job, right? So I'll say that's like the second point when it comes to like overcoming the barriers, right? Thirdly, is to constantly improve yourself. And that's why and that's how I tie it to the training and certification, right? So it's like what to make you stand out. We are doing this work, but I've worked in sales, I've gone for this course, I have this certification, I have this training. You are improving your communication skills, you're improving your writing skills, you're improving, you're learning different type of sales. It's just that approach to constantly improve yourself. I would say that's also a way to overcome the current barrier that we are facing. And when it comes to like just while I'm still on that, when it comes to like trainings and certification, I was lucky enough, while working the company that I've been with, there was emphasis on training and improving yourself, constant training. So that's enabled me to do like constant training. One of the things that really helped me, prior to joining the international company that I'm with, was just taking like we underestimate writing, right? And that's like that's one of the basic things. So taking that writing course, but not just writing, but like sales writing. So that sales writing course itself, really, really helped me when I create like email campaigns. There was a time that I've created email campaigns for my manager before, and he's like, wow. So like it really, really helped me. So you cannot underestimate trainings. I just saw a chart, that's why I looked up. So you cannot underestimate trainings. They're really important with every industry, every profession, and even with sales. I feel like salespeople, but just like, it's not to sell, it's not, why do I need training? But no, there are different type of sales. There are
Exactly.
different type of salespeople. So a BDR is different from someone that is closing accounts. It's different from a relationship manager. It's different from a customer success person. So like there are different salespeople. There are different skills, right? Email campaigns different from you are generating leads, you are following up, you are doing. So there are different things. It's not just one person, and it's not just one thing. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'd like to talk about the academy to this point, right? So if you join the scaling sales academy, so these are the things that you'll be learning in the class, right? So there'll be a section where you learn about communication and writing. There'll also be a section where we'll teach you how to like apply for international roles. There's also a section where we'll teach you how to like revamp your LinkedIn to start reaching out to people, right? These are the things that you would learn if you join the sales academy. And one exciting fact or one interesting thing about this thing is that you are not learning alone, and you are learning in a structured manner, right? So you're learning from experienced people that are going to teach you. And these people that you're learning from, they also have similar backgrounds with you. So they were able to move from where you are currently to where you want to be, right? So they can tell you their mistakes, they can tell you the things they did right, they tell you the things they did wrong. So it's going to be very easy for you to learn from them because you have the same background. And yeah, it seems Marvelous is really, really interested in this conversation. So he's asking, what would you say is the demand for remote sales role compared to like of tech roles like data analysis and
I would also say that's very tricky. Um, I would say in total, right? Generally, when it comes to like remote roles, you are sort of the competition is stiffer because you are international with any of the roles. So be it a sales role, be it an analyst. Because let me tell you something. When you look at LinkedIn, right? Just look at LinkedIn, you would see that companies are always hiring for BDI, they're always hiring for sales people, they're always hiring for analysts. So I cannot come and say, oh, like these analysts, the data analysts, they are more in demand than salespeople, right? Because you can see that companies are actively recruiting every time. But what I would say and what I'd mention is because of your international, you have that disadvantage because most times when they're hiring remotely, they want to just like, oh, remotely in the US, remotely in Canada, they want remote, but they also want you to be in that country. Majorly sometimes because of time zones, right? Sometimes because of experience. Honestly, there have been companies that I've worked with Nigerian candidates, Nigerian talents before, and it was not the best of experience for them, right? So that aside, you have those people also. So because of that, the competition is more stiffer. Um, and I cannot, in terms of like the statistics, because I know data analysts that are also trying to get a job remotely internationally, and it's also quite tough for them. It's also quite tough for them. There is demand in both. There's demand in both. Yeah, that's what I just said. There's demand in both. It's just how the international recruitment has been like a bit stiffer few years post-COVID, because whether we like it or not, some people have gone back to the office. So it's like few companies that are hiring remote international. That's why you really, really, really have to do the work. You really, really have to stand out. You really have to do the work. A friend of mine, I know when he works remotely for an international company, an ABDR role, sales role, right? And I know how much work that he puts in to get that role. So it's a lot of work. But like, I mean, it's rewarding. So if you want that reward, you would really have to put in the work. And I would say that it's like you guys are lucky because you have platform and initiatives like Scaling Now that is really helping. When I was recruiting, when like 2-3 years ago, there was nothing. People did not even know that, you could work as a salesperson for an international company. So it's like it was really organic. Everything you do by yourself, interviews you do by yourself. Like when it even came to like offers, I know that there are times that I've turned down offers that when I looked out the line, I'm like, hey God, I should have just taken this thing. So I wish that I had that bunch, like, oh, like, like something I can fall back on, like, hey guys, I have these two companies and I'm thinking, I think this one. So I would say that it's tough everywhere. It's tough everywhere. But there are also opportunities everywhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I also think it still boils down to what you want for yourself, right? So if you think you are good in mathematics, analytics, right? If you think data analytics is for you, go for data analytics. There are thousands of one jobs in data analytics. There are companies that are looking to like hire remote data analysts. And if you also think like selling is what you have with strength at, if you see that oh communicating is something like you enjoy doing, go for sales, right? There are thousands of companies begin to like hire sales talent from Nigeria and you get your money and right. So it just boils down to what you want personally. You need to like think about what you want, do a SWOT analysis on your strength and how you can improve, right? And just like you mentioned, just like you mentioned, right? So one of the exciting thing or one of the opportunity thing that you will get at scaling is structured learning, right? So sometimes there can be information overload, right? So you go on Google, you search for this, search for that, search for this, search for that. At the end of the day, you are not getting the value that you want, or probably you have so much information that at this point you don't know the next thing to do, right? So that's when information overload comes in, and it brings a lot of frustration. But then when you have like a mentor, when you have somebody that is guiding you, that is telling you that oh you don't do this, you do this, or when you are in an interview, you don't say things like this. When you want to negotiate, you don't say things like this. It's going to help you. It's going to fast track your career trajectory and also help like move faster so you don't make the mistakes that they made. And I'm sure that someone like Ejide here, there are probably something that she wish she didn't do when she started her career, or probably something that she wish she did earlier than what she has now. But she has gone through it. She has the templates, and these are kind of people that we'll be bringing in the class for you to learn from. So just imagine you're learning from this kind of people. It means that you're in the right hand and they are going to like guide you to get your next job opportunity. Thank you so much for that, Ujide. We would be running up soon. So if you have further questions, please put it in the chat box. I think I have like 2 more questions before we round up. Right. So we've talked about trainings, we talk about certifications, right? So for those considering investing in paid training, what would you say are the key return on investment that they should expect, especially in career advancement in international sales role?
So in terms of figures, I can't give you like, hey, this is the ROI for taking this course or doing this, but I would say most times these things are quite life-changing. Aside from the fact that the knowledge you get from taking the trainings or the program, it's also the people that you meet and the network that you build. So I know people that the next job that they got, it was from the training that they attended, and while they were there they met someone, and then the person knows someone that was recruiting, and then they referenced. I know someone that he mentioned, this was of recent, he said that he went for a training, and during that training he met someone, and that person moved to a different company, and while the person was there, the company opened a kind of like a segment or a subsidiary, and it was through him they hired everyone in that subsidiary. It was through him, just for me, from meeting someone. So it's like you are learning, you are gaining that added skill set and knowledge, and you're also meeting people that you don't know what opportunities might come from there. And you're also building a community of like-minded people that you can grow together, you can thrive together. So I'll say that the ROI is it's it's so great. We cannot, like, figures are not going to explain it. Like, it's continuous in general. Me, I like Buku, but like in general, investing in learning, investing in, just investing in learning, it's not just improving your knowledge. It's not just, it's like you are also adding value to yourself. And the more value that you have as a human being, the more you can demand, right? The more you can demand, the
And the more you
higher,
give also.
yes, the higher the level of associations that you have. So yeah, that's what I would say about that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that learning is very important, especially for we 9 to 5 hours, right? So we need to like take learning very important. And another thing is networking is also one of the easiest way for you to like get jobs, right? Referrals, introductions, having coffee chats with people and recruiters. These are one of the easiest ways to get these roles. So imagine you're in a community where there are international. Imagine you're in a community with like-minded people that do sales, people that want to like get sales roles, and you belong to this community. Recruiters come. These are the people that recruiters will reach out to before they post the job opportunities online, because they believe in the quality of talent that comes from there. So you'll be among the first set of people that the recruiters will reach out to if they want to hire. So it is very important if you are looking to like upgrade your career, if you are looking like to access international roles, joining communities, investing in yourself, taking professional courses is very, 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 very key. So there's another question in chat box, right? So what type of challenges did you face in networking? I think you've mentioned some part of it, right? Did you network with Nigeria? Did you network with just Nigerians, or you network with other nationalities?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in terms of networking, yes, I start with networking in Nigerians, but not just that. I use like Nigerians, I try to network with Nigerians, I try to network with Africans, I try to network with women. Um, and then I try to network generally. So I'll typically reach out to in Nigeria, I reach out to a woman, and then reach out to someone that's Caucasian or something, just to get like different insights and just to introduce myself to the different communities within that organization. So I'll say those are the demographic that I focused on. In terms of challenges, the challenge is that it's there's no guarantee that the person will reply to you, and you don't want to be a pest. Like, if you reached out to someone twice, you cannot be sending somebody messages 5 times. Like, if you look at the person's LinkedIn, you have sent the message, no reply. or like after the person accepted your connection, the person has to accept your connection, right? So after they accept your connection, you send you send a message, no reply. You send another one, no reply. You send the third one. Please, when you are even sending sales sales emails, there's something we call I've forgotten the word right now, but it's like a breaking up email. Right. So it's like the email, like, hey, AJ, I've been trying to reach you this. Please let me know if this is not a good time, or like you're not interested in something. So like you are breaking up that. So you get to a point whereby like you are not even contacting the person again. So when you're trying to connect to people, you don't bombard them with like so much messages, right? So much email. So one of the things you're going to face is the fact that people are not going to reply your email. I have never, if it's not a sales email, I have not met anyone that was rude to me. I haven't. I've only met doing like sales email. People are going to be rude sometimes, but like if it's just trying to connect, I haven't met anyone that is rude. Doesn't mean you would not meet, but like most times people are just like, hey, I don't have the time, or they wouldn't just reply. So it is what it is. What other challenges? Um, honestly, I would say those like the two major things. It's just for you to keep reaching out. One day, somebody will reply you. And if the reply is not favorable, one day, the reply will be favorable. Sales the games of numbers. When it comes to you are selling or you are trying to even, recruit, you are trying to get a role, you just keep shooting your shots. That's it.
Yeah, I agree that sales is a game of numbers, right? The more you reach out to people, the more your chances of getting response, right? So you can't just reach out to somebody, one person, when there are like other people that are supposed to reach out to. Thank you so much for this session. It has been very insightful, and I think we've asked almost all the questions. So I don't know if anybody on the call wants to ask questions. Yeah. So if you have questions, okay, there is Adeni, there is Ben. If you want to ask questions, you can just use the hand raising button. Then I'm going to unmute you to ask your questions. So I can see Justina, I can see Nora. Yes. Um, it looks like people do not have questions. Okay, I would go ahead to talk about the scaling and training program. So I'm sure that while on the call, everyone heard about you didn't mention how much important training and investing in yourself is going to like help you achieve your goal, and that is what. Okay, does anybody have questions? Oh, okay. So as part of networking, how would they reach out to you? I think Jejide is very open for people to connect with her on LinkedIn, right?
Yes, I am. Yejide Ali on LinkedIn. So.
All right, thank you. And if you are also here, you want to connect with people, you can drop your LinkedIn profile in the chat box so that people can connect with you directly. Then you can initiate conversations by telling them you've got to meet them from this call. So I'm just going to talk about the learning process as Scaling Academy. So if you want to join the Scaling Sales Academy, where you'll be learning sales development, and with this course, you can become a sales development representative where you will be managing and developing sales. And this class is for 3 weeks where you're going to learn about sales and everything about sales development. So it's a virtual class. I mean, it's going to be online like this, where you get to learn and connect with people, and it is an instructor-led class. So you're not coming to watch pre-recorded videos. No, you're coming to learn from an active learner, like the way I'm talking to you right now, and you're asking your question, you're getting feedback. It's the same way you are going to be learning in class. So you're not going to watch a pre-recorded video where you have the opportunity to ask questions or get instant feedback. But in this class, you are in a live class. Like, you can tell your tutor to repeat what she said or what he said. You can reach out to your tutor after the class. That is how the learning process is. That's how we're able to like build an interactive learning environment for our students, right? So apart from that, when you are being onboarded in the learning environment, you start learning. So what that means, like, we have curriculums that would have been sent to you. You start learning, you have your tutors that will be teaching you, and the curriculum is very, very interactive and engaging. You have a section where we'll be teaching you how to like source for leads. There's a section where we'll be teaching you how to communicate, how to write emails, and there's sections where we're going to teach you how to prepare for interview, right? So some people have the skills, they have the knowledge, but they don't know how to answer interview questions. And if you cannot do well in your interview, there's definitely no how you can get your job. Also, what are the things that you need to put in your CV that can help you stand out? Just like JGD mentioned, there's a way you need to like draft your CV for international role, and there's a way you need to draft your CV for a Nigerian local role, right? So if you don't know all these little information, little things, there are chances that you might not get to those because you're probably using one CV to apply for all these roles, and this companies have their own way of doing their recruitment, right? So you won't definitely you won't get to the interview stage at the end of the day if you keep just applying to roles blindly. And there are different roles in sales that also have the same function but different name, right? And this is because of the company culture. I think an FMCG will not have a tech sales role. They'll probably have like a regional sales role or sales manager role. But if you are working in a tech company, they will definitely have a tech sales role, right? So these are the things that you need to put into consideration when applying for jobs, right? So, and these are the things that some people do not know, and some people know, and the people that I know have actually like put into practice, and they've been able to like see results in that. And apart from learning, there'll also be definitely the assessments. You'll be assessed by, and this is the way we do it is by giving you assignments, probably, and you'll be asked to code email a company or look for tools to source for leads. Like, all we are just trying to do is to ensure that you get maximum value for your money when you join the class, right? And so there's also going to be class presentation because you're not going to be learning alone. You're going to be learning with other people in class, and so you would be presenting and also be connecting with your learning partners. Your learning partner is like your accountability manager. So you connect to each other, you be able to like check in on each other. Oh, have you done your assignment? Have you done this? And I've been in a I've attended a class whereby I was able to like connect with other people in the class, and we went after the class, we went ahead to do business transactions together. We are still friends, and we've been able to like have like meaningful relationships with each other, and that's because we're very, very active in the class, and we also like built relationship. If I did not join the class, I wouldn't have met this kind of people, and they've actually like helped me in some way, and I've also helped them in some way. And so this is just one of the ways you can use to network and also like get to know people. And at the end of the training, there will be graduation and certification. Of course, you're going to be certified by Scaling. Our certificate is globally recognized, right? So even if we are applying for an international role and you show them our certificate, it is globally recognized, and from there you can confidently say that you graduated from a sales academy, and these are the things that you learn in the sales academy. So we are taking enrollment for the next course, which is happening soon, we have few slots left for the class if you are looking to join. So again, this is me telling you what you gain for attending the class. Structured learning and guidance. You are not going to be learning alone. You're not going to be learning halfway. You are going to be learning in a structured manner, right? So you are going to be learning about the cause of SDR, sales development, and how you go about sales development, how to look out for sales development international roles, how to write your CV, how to prospect, how to write emails, like the major things that you actually mentioned. These are the things that you'll be learning in class. And also our certificate is globally recognized certification. And scaling has and hiring like in and hiring where companies come to us to help them hire sales talent. So when company comes to us, the first set of people that we reach out to is people in our community, people in our class. So it's like you are paying for one product, but you are getting access to like 3 products, right? Apart from the fact that you are getting any certificates, you are connecting with people, you also get premium access to our hiring partners, right? So when people come to us to hire, you'll be the first set of people we reach out to, prep you for interview to ensure that you hold your hands, you get the job, right? So that is our own goal. At the end of every course, our own goal is to ensure that you get a job at the end of the program, right? So also we are going to give you access to our network. So our companies that are reaching out to hire from us, you give access to them. You also connect with other people in the class, then you also build your relationship from there. And like I mentioned, the class is going to be virtual, right? And just like you're listening to me, I'm talking to you, you're getting feedback, is the same way you'll be learning in the class, and it's going to be for 3 weekends, right? And it's going to be on Thursdays and Saturdays from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And the training cost is 100,000 naira. And because you are, joining this program or because you are attending this session, I'm going to drop a link in the chat box for you to fill. If you fill that form, you'll be getting a certain discount for joining the class, right? So I'm just going to go ahead to drop the link in the chat box for you to see. So if you fill that form, you're going to get access to a discount before joining the class. So while I'm trying to get the form, does anybody have questions for me about the class, about everything that we've talked about since we started the session? Does anyone have questions for me or YDD or anything relating about the program? So I'm dropping the form in the chat box. Please ensure that you fill the form. If you fill the form, you're going to get access to a discount. And also, we are sending the recording of this session to people that fill the form. So the form is very, 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 very important for you to fill. Even if you are not ready to enroll for the program, just ensure that you fill the form so that we know that you joined the session, and when it's time for you to make payments, we'll be attaching your discounts. So please, I would advise you to fill the form. It's not a very long form, just a short, just fill the form. Right, so thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We are happy that you're able to join us, and thank you so much, Jejide, for sharing your experience and your knowledge with us. I know that ideally, if we didn't bring you to this session, if you want to have this session with you personally, it's going to cost us money. But then this is you doing it for us for free. We're very grateful. We appreciate you so much for coming to this session this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Does anybody have further questions, please?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I would like everyone to fill this form if you would like to get the recording of the session. So interested in joining the class, please fill the form, then I'm going to give you a call if there is a need for me to, or if you want to speak to me. I'm very happy to answer your questions if you have any. I'm going to drop the link to the form again. So we have limited seats in the class, so I would advise you to start to register as you can. Hello, can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, just
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can
oh,
hear you.
okay. All right. Okay, thank you. All right. I just wanted to be sure. Okay.
Yeah, I was asking when the class begins.
Oh, okay. The class. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. The class. I don't know this and echo. I don't know if this is from me.
Go ahead.
So for you to get a discount, for you to get the discount, right? So you have like a 3 days registrations from now, right? So you have 3 days from now to get the discount if you want to get a discount for the 9,000 naira payment. But the class starts in August, right? The start date for the class is August 3rd. Yes, that is going to be on a Saturday, August 3rd. But don't think that you have now till August before you make payments. We take a limited number of students for each cohort. And if you do not join this cohort, it means that you are going to be joining the next cohort. And sometimes we usually have students register ahead for this. Advise you if you want to join the class to make your payment as soon as possible so that we can reserve your slot in this class, because we usually take limited number of students because we want our tutors to engage our students very well. We do not have like large class. We take a limited amount of students in the class. So we want our students to engage, we want our tutors to engage our students very well. So that is why we avoid taking large class. So the class is starting August 3rd, and I would advise you to make a payment as soon as possible so that you can reserve your slot in the class. But if you would like me to reserve your slots, even if you have some reservations, you can still fill the form. I'm going to have a call with you to get to understand your situation. Then I'm going to like advise you accordingly. So please still fill the form. Then I'm going to have a call with you on how to go about it. Does anyone else have questions? There's IC Law. I don't know if I pronounce her name right. I'm sorry, or you can unmute yourself to ask your questions. Hi, Nura. Do you have any questions for me? And thank you so much for your question, Timidayo. It's Temitope, sorry. I would like to hear from you. So could you please fill the form? Then I'm going to give you a call over the week to talk about your career opportunities and how we can help you. Is that fine, Temitope?
Hello, Nafisa. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Good day.
Hi.
All right. My question is, if is instrumental payment allowed
Yes, it
for the
is
registration?
allowed. Yes, it is allowed. You can
Okay.
make your payment in installments. Yes, it's allowed. Did you fill the form?
I'm yet to fill. I'm yet to
Yeah,
fill.
fill the form. If you
Yeah.
fill the form, it's going to help you with two things. The first is you are going to get a discount. So if you fill the form, you are going to get a discount. But if you don't fill the form, if you are paying installments, you'll be paying in the full, right? So you need to fill the form, right? So when you fill the form, I'm going to send you an email detailing how you're going to pay the installments. Is that fine? Is that okay?
Yeah. You said classes will actually commence up to August, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sure. I'll fill it right away.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Timmy. Timmy, do you want to say anything?
The one I just spoke.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was Nura. Okay, there is, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Tokunzile? I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Counter. Do you have any questions for us? If you have questions, please let me know. Thank you everyone for joining. You'll be getting more emails from me as we go on, because I'll be sending emails to check in on you, to check in on your career moves, and to ensure that you are making the right decision of joining the academy. Thank you so much for joining us once again, and we are happy that you were able to take out of your busy schedule to join us this evening, right? Since there is no questions, I'm going to end the call. Before I go, I'm going to drop the link again in the chat box for you to fill. So if you are yet to fill it, this is your last chance to fill it. So we'll be sending the recording to those that fill the form. We would also give discounts to those that fill the form. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.